I'm Cass. Welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited to share with you my reading journal flip through for the first 6 months. Now, my reading journal didn't exactly turn out how I imagined it would when I first started my reading journal back in the beginning of the year, but the spreads I've made turned out pretty cute and I want to use it more. I just always fall behind or don't have time to do it, but I thought I would still share with you how it looks just so I can give you a realistic look into one of the journals that I make and how I am definitely not perfect when it comes to actually keeping up with and making spreads that I say I'm going to make. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the flip through. Hello and welcome to my 2022 mid-year reading journal flip through. Now, the notebook that I've been using is actually an Archer and Olive notebook, and it has been serving me well. The pages are very thick and very sturdy, and it's been a fun time using it. Now, the pages that I'm showing now are actually pages that I've filled out and have not been shown how they look before. So right here on the left is how I track how many books I read. It is super self-explanatory and kind of easy to see and to fill out. I simply fill in a box every time I read a book. So as you can see, I've read 50 books this year so far, and I can't wait to have this hopefully, fingers crossed, filled all the way out. As for this page, these are books to read in 2022. I have quite a few, actually the majority of these I have not read, and I need to start referencing this more to remind myself of books that I do want to read because clearly I have not been doing a good job. Next is my books bought, which is just a simple running list of books separated by month, and it is a little bit excessive. I also just have an extra page on the other side to track more once this page is full, but clearly if I continue at the current rate that I'm going at, I will not have enough for the rest of the year, so I definitely need to calm down with the book buying. Maybe that will help me because I really don't want to try to add on another page. So in order to keep only to this page, I just need to stop buying books, which is a hard thing to do. Next is my reading tracker. Again, super simple. I just have it divided out by months and by days, and every day I read, I just color in a box. And I love how this is starting to get filled in. I can't wait until the whole thing is filled out. That is the fun thing about these beginning pages, is it's one big overview versus the month by month, and it's just stunning to look at. Maybe it's just me, but this makes my brain very happy. Again, with another page that makes my brain very happy is my books read in 2022. I simply cut out a little picture of the book cover that I've read, and then I draw these 5 stars underneath and then simply color in how many that I think that book deserves. And it is just stunning. I was so excited when I first filled out this page, and then starting to fill out this page, lots of Ranger's Apprentice books. I just love being able to see the book covers in this sort of format. It's good for my brain, which I keep saying. And then I have this page, and then one page here and another page here for continuing on, and hopefully I can fill it all the way up to the end. That is the goal. Now we're moving on to my monthly setup. So each setup has a different theme, and for this one it was, I guess, dreamy purple and pink Polaroids or music players. I list out all the books that I read underneath the title that I write. So every time you see a monthly setup and you notice that I have this big gap underneath the title of the month, it is because after I go back and I list all the books that I read. And then over here is actually just a pocket for a bookmark that I keep, which has this information on the back of it, which is a list of days. And then every day that I read, I write the number of pages I read and then the corresponding book. And it's really helpful to have this as a bookmark because then I can easily reference it and write down the number of pages that I read. And then I like making this little pocket because I can easily store it in there and have that help me fill out this next page here, which is my bar graph. I have days on the side and then number of pages on the top. and I have the corresponding color over here on my books read section, and then I have a cute little stats section. Now, none of this is really necessary for a reading journal. You can literally use a reading journal as a place to make spreads specifically for books, but I thought this was a really fun and unique sort of idea to track different stats that I collect. Again, no particular reason, it's just good for my brain. So my stats for January, I have read 11 total books, and then I read 5,026 pages. My average star rating was 3.6. The total amount of books I bought was 15, and the total days read was 21. So it's cool to just go back, and I love bar graphs so much. Look how pretty it is. And I try to keep the colors corresponding to the colors of the theme. I just don't have that many pinks, obviously, but I still think it looks at least halfway decent, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's my journal, right? Then I have a few quotes that I add, and I always forget to fill out the quotes page, so I need to start remembering to do that more. And then we have right here my first failed page. Clearly did not happen. I was going to make a page for Malibu Rising, but I got busy and I fell behind, and I skipped a page thinking that I would go back and make it, but obviously I did not, which is totally okay because sometimes life gets in the way of journaling, but as long as you pick it back up, if you truly enjoy it, then it's okay. Like, we're human, we're gonna fall behind, we're gonna mess up, it's inevitable. Next is my February, and it was themed around Jujutsu Kaisen, and I only read 4 books, which you can see under here, but they were absolute tomes. They were massive. Again, with my bookmark and the stats in my little pocket. And I might mention, all of these bookmarks are themed after Jujutsu Kaisen because this was actually a gift for my sister, because it was my sister's idea to create a bookmark like this. She just used index cards, and then for Christmas I designed her a full set of Jujutsu Kaisen bookmarks. So that is why they are all Jujutsu Kaisen theme and have characters on them. I feel like that's worth noting. If you ever make any for yourself, make them cute, make them personal to you. Like, you don't have to copy mine, or I don't know. You can make a bookmark that corresponds to each theme too. I think that would be fun. Or just use a plain index card. As long as it's functional and works for you, that's what really matters. Then again, we have our February being filled out in the same way that January was, with the bar graph, corresponding colors, and then my stats, again, trying to keep with the theme. So I used a lot of black and gray in this theme, so I wanted to keep and use black and gray in the bar graph. As for my stats, I read 4 books in February, a total of 3,351 pages. My star rating was 4.75. I bought 12 books and I read 18 out of the 28 days. And then these definitely contain spoilers, so if you haven't read House of Sky and Breath, The Name of the Wind, or The Wise One's Fear, don't pause and try to read these because it's full of spoilers, but it's very pretty. I like it. And then I have, again, a fun little quote page. And this I actually successfully created. And it is a page for The Name of the Wind, which I just absolutely fell in love with from page 1. I got inspiration from the spread for this spread from Coloring Glutton's Instagram, I do believe. I will pop her username up on the screen for you know who I'm talking about, but I love the style and I love having the font in the middle and then my thoughts on the book. And I wanted to do more of these pages, like I really did, but I just haven't. So maybe in the second half of the year I will be more successful with creating pages like this, because this is so fun. Like, it's so pretty and I want to make more. I just haven't. And all I need to do is just actually open and use this journal, but I haven't. Anyway, moving on to March. This was my Bridgerton theme, and I really wish this bookmark was pink, not this like harsh blue, but again, March books, March bookmark, all the stats in my little pocket. Again, books underneath the title, yada yada yada, you get the idea. I really wish I had more pink once again, because these are very harsh colors, but again, seeing the bar graph filled out is beautiful. And my stats for March, I read 12 books, 4,825 pages. My average star rating was a 3.5. I only bought 6 books and I read 23 out of 31 days. I was so proud of only buying 6 books, and that was at the very end of the month. That's probably the least amount of books I'll buy in a month. For the rest of the year, I peaked, okay? I put myself on a book buying ban and I stuck to it pretty well. I would love for 1 month though to that number be 0. It just is really hard for me. And then I have a few favorite quotes from The Devil Wears Prada and The Atlas 6. So quotes I come across during the books that I read during the month, but I just sometimes forget to write it down. Again, a beautiful, beautiful page that was never created. So once again, this is your journal. Sometimes you just don't have time to make the pages you want to make, and that is like totally okay. Next is my April, which is Pokemon theme. I have the bookmark, which did actually correspond with the color palette, which I was very excited about. Made my brain very happy. Slide that sucker back in there. I just love this brown craft paper too, and the washi tape I have, so good. Again, listing the books underneath the title, and clearly I thought I would read less in April, but I read a lot more than I did because I did not leave myself enough room. I really had to squeeze those titles in there. And then again, sticking with browns for the amount of brown that I've got going on in this theme. Very pretty corresponding colors. Just look at the bar graph. I just love it so much, and I love all these stickers. I supported a bunch of different Etsy shops while creating my reading journal, which is super fun for me because I also run an Etsy, so being able to support other small businesses is pretty snazzy. Then my stats for April, I read 12 books, and that was a total of 4,871 pages with an average star rating of 4.9, which I'll explain in a second. I bought 16 books and read 19 out of the 30 days. Now my average star rating this month was very high because I reread a lot of Ranger's Apprentice books, and I always give Ranger's Apprentice 5 stars because it is my favorite series in the whole world, and it was a reread. So I'm not surprised my average star rating is that high, but I also read some really good series, like the Renegade series by Marissa Meyer was amazing. I started The Rise of Kiyoshi, and that was stunning. Heartstopper, I don't even need to talk about because it was so good. So I had quite a few books that were just top tier. And then a few quotes from The Wise Man's Fear, which I have slowly been reading since February and I still am not done with. And I still, am skipping pages thinking that I'll make a spread, and I clearly have not. I need to stop skipping pages. And then my May, now this is definitely a month where it is the most realistic to what occurs. I was going to decorate this pocket. That never happened, but I will show off my May bookmark. Beautiful. Slide that sucker back in there. I have, again, listed books underneath the title, and I have my bar graph filled out. This month I read 9 books, a total of 3,127 pages. My average star rating was 4.4. I bought 16 books and I read 18 out of the 31 days. I love the gray. I need to do more black and white themes to just fill out the bar graphs in gray because these are just top tier spreads. But I clearly forgot to write down any quotes while I was reading, and I found that kind of funny because this says favorite quote because I forgot to add an S right here, but then I only had one quote to write down, so it kind of worked out anyways. And then this was supposed to be a page. Clearly, it is a page, it just isn't a page that has crap on it. And then I will quickly flip through and show you my June, which I have a setup and is completely empty because, like I mentioned, I fill out everything at the end of the month or at the beginning of the next month just because it's easier to just fill out the bar graph all in one go. But I want to start using this page and writing down quotes that I like because I keep forgetting. So I think filling this out as I go will benefit me, but I just need to remember. And then I have my summary pages, which is a new page that I decided to try out in June, and I'm very excited to fill this out. And maybe I'll make a page for a book instead of just doing these setups. That is the goal, but I don't have as much time as I wish I did have to work on this. But I hope you enjoyed watching my 2022 mid-year reading journal, and maybe it was able to help you gather some inspiration on how you want to start doing your reading journal for the second half of the year, or maybe you're starting a reading journal for the second half of the year. And for that, I recommend my 2022 reading journal setup video where I set up all the reading pages, and then I also have monthly setups that you can check out as well. But I will see you in the outro. Thank you so much for watching the video all the way to the very end. I really hope you enjoyed seeing a look through my reading journal, and perhaps you were able to take some inspiration from it. If you liked the video, please do give it a like and chat below. Let me know what theme ended up being your favorite. Mine was definitely April with the Pokemon. I still am in love with that theme and how it turned out. And I will hopefully see you in the next one. Toodles!